What's going on, guys? It's Dalton from Bowling or Baseball and Softball, and I am here to clarify some things, kind of talk about a semi-debate when you run into hitting coaches and seeing different information on the internet when we talk about launch angle. So when we talk about launch angle, a lot of people think that we're just trying to hit the ball up in the air and trying to lift, we're trying to hit fly balls. It's not really what the launch angle idea is. A launch angle is just the trajectory the ball comes off the bat, and the exit direction and launch angle determine how far a ball flies and what your outcome is typically on the field. When we talk about launch angle, we try to train the hitter's movements on the baseball and softball side to create an optimal angle to where our hard hit balls are singles and doubles. And by doing that, we need it to be in a certain range. So if you see on our hit tracks up here, we use this as just feedback. We don't look at the numbers and say it's not good enough, we got to be here. We look at the numbers as just feedback with adjustments we're making in the box. At a launch angle of below 15 degrees, typically that's going to be a line drive right at the infielders or a one hopper in the infield. Once you get to that 15-degree launch angle to 25-degree launch angle, we're probably talking a single or possibly a double depending on how hard the ball is hit. So when we train these actions, we have to look at how well our bat is getting in the zone and staying through the zone and how long it's staying in that position to create backspin. Backspin is going to help us get the ball carrying. It's going to help us stay on a line that is reaching the outfield in the air. Anything with topspin is going to die, and it's going to have a hump, and it's going to go straight down, which is going to be more of a caught out. So really the whole launch angle debate is just trying to create an optimal flight for your ball that is caught less by your infielders or is less ground out. We're going to take another video here. I want you to pay attention where this goes at on the field and with kind of how our cage set up, and then kind of tell us what you would initially think on this ball, and then we'll compare it next to hit tracks. So this ball gets a little farther down the cage, ends up being a ground ball single, which is, good if we're in a game situation. But if we look at our launch angle, this is a 1 degree. With this ball, it took one hop in the infield and then took another hop on the backside of the grass part of the infield. With that type of launch angle, if this is hit anywhere other than up the middle, that is a routine ground ball to your shortstop or second baseman. So we're going to check out another one. So we're going to play with where it's going at inside the cage. And we're going to look at that back left corner. This ball being hit harder at 8 degrees. This was up the middle, about head high for our shortstop. With your angle and direction at being at 89, that ball ended up getting through. But this is where we're starting to creep towards that range that's optimal. Like, we're still getting hits, but there's still a high probability that that ball gets caught. So we're going to keep working this up. So now we're going to look at this trajectory in the ball flight. This one hit the top of the cage, which, again, I'm going to kind of touch back on. A lot of people think the top of the cage is not a good thing. This ball came out at 18 degrees, which is a pretty optimal line drive, actually. This one got into the gap and was a double in left center. This hit in the gap and then rolled to the wall. As we start working this upwards even more, we still have some room where that ball can go in the air and still be optimal. So again, pay attention to our batting cage here. We're going to see where this ball hits and our outcome. So this ball higher at 25 degrees was still pretty much a line drive with a little bit of backspin. This one hit the base of the fence. So we're still working in that range where we're not hitting a fly ball, we're still on a line, but there's a more optimal swing to get our barrel in the zone, create more backspin, and hit more balls hard even if we're not on time. Now we're going to talk about what's too high. So when we start looking at the cage, we're going to hit a fly ball here, a fly ball pop-up range. So this ball, we're starting to creep to the very top point of where we really want to be. So this was at 29 degrees, 29, 30 degrees. This ball was a little bit more of a fly ball that ended up two hopping the fence in right center. So once we start getting over this point, it does start to create less carry and more of a hang up, caught out action. So with this being more of your 39 degrees, it was hit hard, but we're creeping into that territory where this is a fly out. The ball hit about right here, which is slightly over that range we want to be in. If we look at our batting cage here, the top of the cage right here and down is good. We're in a very good spot. The top of the cage in the back is actually only about 13 to 15 degrees of ball flight. So when we're looking at where we need to be with our contact point, the top of the cage is not a bad thing. But a lot of it depends on what type of cage you're using. You may have a big cage where it is too high. You may have a smaller cage where your figures look good. But this is a little ending and just explaining a little bit more of our launch angle debate and what we look at with training actions to get to the right spot. So hope that helped. Thanks for watching.